Well, see, the issue is that they are fraudulent and inauthentic, and as such, you can counterfeit endlessly. There's no end to the amount of fiat money you can counterfeit.
And they don't mind wrecking things and always posing as the savior. They control the so-called media, so they can wreck things and pose as the savior, and then always get more power, and then wreck more, get more power, wreck more, get more power, wreck more, blame other scapegoats. Folks really wake up, blow a building up, pose as the savior. Hand Libya to Al-Qaeda, so what? I mean, it really is. So it just goes on with them trampling us and running over us and basically just until the public wakes up. But they won't. They like Rick Perry. They like the slick-backed hair. They like it. When they hear about him going to transvestite bars, they get even more excited. Don't forget, I'm going to be on television tonight at prisonplanet.tv and InfoWarsNews.com. Support alternative growing media. Gerald Celente is going to be on. A bunch of other information. We're putting a lot of work into this. We're going to be breaking down a lot of different facets and getting into some areas we didn't cover today. Labor leaders call for war on Republicans. Hoffa says, President Obama, this is your army. We are ready to march. Let us take these sons of bleepers out. But they're always saying those of us that don't want big government are the ones that want violence. Big Sis attacks Matt Drudge, says, don't call me an ogre. He never called you an ogre. Continuing, Texas duel. Ron Paul goes after Rick Perry. We've got those articles up. U.S. eavesdropped on Israeli embassy in Washington. Former FBI employee sentenced for leaking classified papers to an Israeli-connected mole. That's all going on. You can see the wildfires from space going on in central Texas. That amazing report's up at Infowars.com, also DrudgeReport.com. There is just so much going on. Also, it turns out less insured people after Obamacare went through. Well, it was designed to do that. So this is just all part of the general free-for-all of corruption going on. Finishing up with Max Keiser. Max, I was mentioning Libya, and then during the break you were saying you wanted to get into that. Even Reuters is admitting, so is RIA Novostat, EU official says al-Qaeda acquires weapons in Libya and is now the main group taking over the major cities. That's completely confirmed. LA Times, you name it. Even Chuck Norris has got an article out talking about our article saying, why are they shifting from al-Qaeda to the American people? And you know, why is our government helping al-Qaeda? Any comments on that, Max Keiser?
Well, yeah, I have a comment. It's kind of interesting. I haven't heard you talk about it yet. Unicredit, which is the biggest bank in Italy. Their vice chairman was the head of the Libyan central bank. And the reason this is important is that when you now notice that the European financial crisis has gone into overdrive, and Italy, just in the last 2 weeks, has now going into a major meltdown mode. This was an unintended consequence of going in there and mucking around in Libya, because Libya and Italy have this historic relationship going back decades, as people know, and there's tremendous amount of fraud and corruption between the Italian banking system, the biggest bank in Italy, Unicredit, and the Libyan central bank, which is a huge central bank, given the fact that they have all of the oil profits from all the
Sure,
deals.
It's only the black market keeping countries propped up, and now that little deal's been screwed up.
Yeah, exactly. So this is just an interesting side note, that an unintended consequence. I doubt seriously that when the U.S. stumbled in there, or NATO stumbled in there, that they thought through their actions and realized that if you screw around with the central bank in Libya, you're going to trigger a massive European bank default, which is now in progress.
And a destabilization of those tens of billions of dollars tied up, not just in Africa, but also in Europe. But why do you think they, at the end of the day, went into Libya and have now put al-Qaeda into control, with reportedly them even getting heat-seeking missiles? And we're told, give all our rights up or al-Qaeda will sneak into the window and drink our blood at night like Nosferatu. But at the same time, al-Qaeda's good and friendly, and if you don't like them, you're evil.
Well, you know, the recent history is, of course, that Muammar Gaddafi was on the terror list, but then he made good friends with Tony Blair, the Prime Minister of Britain. And magically, he was the amazed waved his magic wand, and he was part of the world community again, and they were doing oil deals and weapons deals, and Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan was now managing the Libyan Sovereign Wealth Fund, and it looked great for Libya until you realize that the bigger terrorists are Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. They let the real terrorists into Libya, and they now, with the banking system in collapse as it is, and with the bankers in charge, there's no hope for that country at all.
All right, Max Keiser at maxkeiser.com. Thank you for joining us. I'm Alex Jones of Infowars.com. See you tonight at InfoWarsNews.com, 7 p.m. Central. Spread the word.